knowledge and wisdom. Confidence and precision, a warrior over rhythm. Talk everything but religion. We're wondering storyteller, a measure of how we living for the culture. Hip hop, not for brothers that flip flop. Honor, love and integrity, taking it to the tip top. Not your average disc jock, stay repping the town. Virginia born and bred, so we taking it now. Head is efficient, don't gotta rock stripes. The blow the whistle, be the warning. Soundboy burial, breathing morning. Instead of talking that nonsense, speak of something important. The power of using your voice to make the right choice. I'm only saying, when words are your weapon, how do you play it? Amazing how I come across God and lost. God KE, the lyrical messiah is sharp. Boy wonder a storyteller, they setting it up. So make damn sure you tuning into EBR, and that's real.
It's real. What up, y'all? It's DJ Storyteller back. Just here to give my All-Star Weekend update, or not update, but the reaction, I guess you could say. It started off Friday with the celebrity game, which I told you guys about earlier, late last week. We had Quavo, Jack Harlow, Kane Brown, Tiffany Haddish, just to name a few stars or celebrities that were there. They had Cleveland's own Myles Garrett that was dunking all over the place. MGK played as well. He is trash. I saw him miss so many easy, wide open layups and shots right in front of the rim and made no sense. But that's why they're celebrities and they don't play basketball. I could see that. Myles Garrett actually did pretty good. He did like I said, he had a lot of dunks. There was a high jumper from the U.S. that had an amazing off a rebound dunk, and it was crazy. I didn't even know that. I mean, you expect for him to jump high because he's a high jumper, but I never, you have coordination to dunk. But it is what it is. Like I said, he had a crazy dunk. It was a dope game. I've always enjoyed the celebrity games because I want to see how these other players that, or these other people that say they ball, they really ball or not. The MVP ended up going to Peloton instructor Alex Toussaint. I never heard of the dude until I saw the celebrity game because I don't have a Peloton. But yeah, like I said, the game was good. And then later on that night, the Rising Stars game, which Cade Cunningham ended up winning MVP. He plays for Detroit. Again, that was a good format. They had a nice format for that. It was 4 teams, tournament style. So the 2 teams that won played in the championship, which I thought it was a dope change to that game because there's so many rising stars that we don't always get a chance to see all of them play during the All-Star game before. But this year they actually got a chance to put out. Everybody got to play and show their skills off and see who's coming up next, pretty much. Because the players that we grew up with playing, they're all about to get out of the league. My favorite player in the league, that was in the league, is already retired, Dwayne Wade. But LeBron is the face of the NBA right now, and he will be getting out of the league here in a couple of years, I can see. So they got to have somebody to step up. And these young fellas, well, too bad. They had the clutch challenge that I think was at halftime during the Rising Star game. There was 2 players that take 5 different shots that came from iconic memories in NBA playoff history, like the 3-pointer where Ray Allen hit to make the championship keep going for Miami, so they pull it out and win. They had a Dame Lillard shot where he pulled up over Paul George from the logo. Yeah, so they had a lot of good memories over this weekend because they were celebrating the 75th anniversary of the NBA, and they showcased that at the halftime show of the All-Star game that was last night. They showed all the great players from. I saw Robert Parrish out there. I haven't seen him in years. Of course, D Wade, Michael Jordan was there. He got to interact with Dennis Rodman, Magic Johnson, which was dope. It was good to see those players still kicking it and chilling with each other and laughing it up after all these years. Back in the 80s and 90s, basketball was different, so it was a lot of tension and beef with some of these players, like it was real beef. And speaking of beef, we saw some of that with Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett. Ray Allen came up and gave LeBron dap that was standing right next to Kevin Garnett, and he didn't look his way. And Kevin Garnett didn't look his way either. So, sometimes, you just, even though you won championships together, still might not be cool. But it is what it is. It happened. They got their beef still. Maybe they'll squash it one day. Hopefully after this they will, once they see themselves on TV and how they looked to everybody else and other kids and other fans that look up to these players. But it, like I said, it is what it is. Saturday, they started with the team practices at 11 a.m. It was dope to watch those because Team LeBron, they had like a half court shootout, and of course Curry and LeBron, they shot back and forth, making them shots. It's crazy that now that's the NBA, because back in the day, you wasn't too much 3-point shooters. You had certain players that's all they did was shoot 3-pointers. But you know, the game has to change. After the practices, they had an NBA and HBCU Classic, which featured Morgan State versus Howard University, which was a big thing. I think for HBCUs, could have put them on a different platform where every NBA fan could watch this game and see, you know, the HBCUs being played on a bigger platform, which is something we definitely need for HBCUs to get noticed, because they have some great players. The number one 3-point shooter in the nation is on Howard University or Morgan State. Which one of those teams? I'm not sure. I would double check that and write that down in the description. But yeah, it was a good game. They had a battle back and win. The Howard University pulled it out by 3 or something like that. Again, like I said, I double check it because I watched some of it, but I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch all of it because, you know, I had some other stuff to do. They had the Taco Bell skill challenge. You know, it's just a basic thing that they've always done. Team Cavs won. The 3-point contest was won by Karl Anthony Towns from Minnesota. He had 29 points. And of course you could tell that Trae Young and I forgot the other guy's name that let him win but it was good because Cat hit 29 points, and that amazing for a big man to be able to shoot like that. I think he hit all 5 shots on one of his racks, which is, again, for a big man, it's not heard of. But again, like, the game's changed, so that's what it is now. Slam dunk contest. Oh, I don't even know where to start with this one. Just wasn't good. It's just they need to start implementing professional dunkers and have them go against like the top dunkers in the NBA, because what they pulled out Saturday, it was boring. I mean, they didn't have the energy. The crowd tried to keep them in it, but it wasn't going the way they wanted to. Them dudes tried the same dunks like 4 or 5 times, which of course loses the energy for the dunk once they finally make it, but it just wasn't good. So hopefully, maybe next year they see that they need to bring in some different talent on this thing, because it just wasn't good. They have better dunks in the All-Star game, the actual All-Star game, which is what I'm coming to next. The 71st All-Star game was I've always liked the All-Star game. People always think they're supposed to play serious the whole game, which, I mean, they did in the 80s and early 90s, and then they got to a point where let's goof off the first half, and then the second half just make it a real game, which that's what they did with this one. The format's still the same, but they changed for the Kobe Bryant, and they got this new MVP trophy, which is dope, that Seth Curry ended up taking home. He dropped 50 points and he had 16 3-pointers. Like, it's ridiculous. 16 3. One of the shots he pulled up from mid-court and the ball was still in the air. He turned around and the joint went in. I know that's Curry style, but that is still some crazy shooting. Yeah, LeBron hit the game-winning shot to take it home, which you expect. They played it. The All-Star game was in Cleveland. He also said the doors aren't closed in Cleveland, so I could see him, I guess, going back there after his son. Maybe his son might get drafted by them, and then he, departs from LA and goes to Cleveland to play with his son for a year. But I don't think he don't have too much time left. 19th year. I mean, even though he hasn't had any real serious injuries, it'll be interesting to see him be able to play with his son. But other than that, I hope y'all enjoying y'all Sunday. Oh yeah, Tim Hardaway is a finalist for the Hall of Fame this year, so hopefully he gets in, because that's my favorite player of all time. I hope y'all enjoying y'all Sunday. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.